I had been talking about trying to come up with a decision on whether to go back to school or to focus on getting a job. The more I think about it and the more things go along, I know that the job benefits run out in really a pretty short time, even if they go the full length. And I get a very uneasy feeling that rug's fixing to be pulled out from under me, which even if it is, I made preparations for that. It just means that particular safety net is shorter than I had planned on. I had 4 safety nets in place, and I've already breached the first one. So we'll just have to see how that plays out. But even if I got the full, in my case and in this state, 21 and a half weeks, they're adamant there is no extensions. And the way it used to be the last time I was on unemployment, and of course that's been 12, 13 years ago, it was, if I remember right, I'm almost certain you got an initial 13 weeks. And if you hadn't found a job at the end of that, you were pretty much, it was a shoe-in that you got another 13 weeks. You had to request an extension. And so it's 26 weeks, and that was it. Now, they still did it by, as I recall, they still did it by a benefit year, which is how they do it now. But the amount they determine you're eligible for in a benefit year, and it's a full calendar year, it runs out, by the amount they calculate to give you, it runs out in 21 and a half weeks. So what my point is simply that, how do you get through school? How do you enroll in school? In my case, the closest, there is a junior college that's 30 miles away. Okay, but it's a branch campus, and there are very few programs, and yeah, there's probably some courses I could take there. The next closest college is 60 miles and then 90 miles after that to go. And then the closest university is 100 miles. So anyway, I've about come to the conclusion what I'm going to have to do, the way this is going to have to play out, because you just cannot support yourself going through school on only 21 and a half weeks. And I'm not advocating that they give the 99 weeks. That was BS to begin with. I'm just saying, under normal conditions, enrolling into a program, to be cross-trained, you're going to have to support yourself. That's just a matter of practicality. When the unemployment benefits run out, then you're on your own. And a semester is 16 weeks, so I wouldn't even be able to get into the summer session before my benefits run out. Anyway, I'm not counting on benefits. I never were to begin with. I'm just saying, if you're going to cross-train into a new profession, okay, great, which is what I want to do. How do you live in the meantime? Not only how do you live, how do you provide the gasoline to drive that distance, 100 miles, 4 to 5 nights? If I went at night, it'd be 4 nights a week, 200 miles each night. And even in a fuel-efficient car. And anyway, the whole thing is my conclusion is that for me, it seems like the right thing to do is to focus on finding a job wherever that job may be, and make sure that you're within some reasonable proximity to a college or a university, probably a junior college or a community college, because that's the only thing even remotely affordable. Because I'm not taking out any debt. That's something I will not do. That's the greatest poison to your career, to your life, to your credit that there has ever been. If I had my way, student loans would be abolished because they are the most abused financial instrument by colleges there has ever been. And that is the absolute direct result of the college bubble that's fixing to explode. And the sooner the better, because a lot of these colleges need to fail the way they've been run. And I'm absolute adamant, Austrian School of Economics, if you can't run a business, get the hell out and let somebody in the way that can run it. And I'm talking about banks, I'm talking about colleges, I'm talking about everything in between. Farmers, especially farmers. I hear this constant belly aching from farmers and ranchers about, well, if it wasn't for our oil and gas revenue, a lot of these farms would fold. If you need support, if you need propping up, if you can't run a business standing on its own 2 feet, you should go broke. Anyway, I digress. My point back is simply that for me, it's going to have to be getting a job and then cross-training, spending 2-3 years cross-training into something new. That's the only. I think for me, that's the only way this is going to happen. So, anyway, this is the way it's playing out. It may not materialize at all, but you got to start somewhere with a goal, with a notion, with an idea, a plan, and adapt it along the way, because I guarantee in my whole life, the one thing I've learned is that if you're not willing to negotiate with yourself, modify your plans, if you got to have it all your way, you're in for a world of grief, because it just don't happen. You've got to compromise. That BS about no compromise, boy, that sounds good. That's Hollywood for you. Ain't the real world, though. So we'll modify as we need to and take advantage of opportunities. That's the key. Anyway, that's my thoughts for the moment. We'll be back with more.